Is there anything you hate with a passion that everybody around you seems to love? Going clubbing. Frick that. I hate dancing. I enjoy having the use of my eardrums and I don't want to pay $10 for a watered down drink just so I can go try and creepily grind on some anonymous girl in the vain hope of having some anonymous, meaningless sex. I'd much rather sit down at a pub with some friends and have some beers and talk, or better yet, stay home with some friends, grab some drinks from the store, and play video games or board games or have a barbecue. Anything but dance. Or board games. Frick yay board games. Nobody ever wants to play board games anymore. Ugg boots. Filthy, sweaty, stinky, Ugg boots. UG Glee. Unless you are mushing dogs during an Alaskan snowstorm, frick off with those things. I live in suburban Georgia. I hate SUVs. I have 3 kids and we have a station wagon. You don't need a minivan or a Ford Explorer just because you have a kid. And please don't complain to me about the price of gas. I hate Crocs. They are stupid. Don't wear them and don't put them on your kid. I hate stupid trends in general, actually. Oh, and I hate these stupid names people are giving their kids these days. If the name you're considering rhymes with Aiden, please think of another name. If you're having a girl, please use a girl name. Don't give her a boy name because that just sucks. Don't give your kid a last name first name because that just pisses me off. And spell the name right because no one thinks you are being freaking cute. And god dang it, the fact that you attend church on Sunday doesn't give you a pass to be a total jacktid the rest of the week. People, I don't believe in God and, aside from my obvious anger issues, I am a freaking nicer person than you are, so don't look down on me, douche. Maybe I should consider therapy. Add giant freaking trucks to the SUV part. Especially when they're just bought for spoiled brats solely because they think they look cool. Working a 9-to-5 job for a salary. Everybody seems to really love having that consistency in life. It drives me freaking nuts every single day. In a cynical moment I was going to say life, but my daughter just came to my house and gave me big kiss. So no, I love everything, except parades. I really don't like parades. If you're not enjoying a parade, run in the opposite direction. You will fast forward the parade. Mitch Hedberg. Dubstep. Most of it starts off well. Then some idiot decides to ruin the song with repetitive bass that is in every dubstep track ever. The fans aren't much better, either. Oh, but you haven't listened to this track yet. Listen to this drop. Bro, just listen to it. Oh man. That's so dirty. It's the same as every other song you tool. Partying. Don't get me wrong. I'm alright with hanging out with a group of people every once in a while. But I can't understand why anyone would want to be in a large group of people multiple times a week. Personally, I'm alright with hanging out with a group. 4-7 people. Once every like 2 or 3 weeks. Outside of that, being with that many people just bothers me and I want to leave. One person is fine. I can hang out with one person much more often, but the awkward social situations involved in being with a group, drinking, people smoking, people talking about stupid crap, are things I just don't want to deal with. I absolutely hate Avatar. The story was terrible. Fantastic graphics don't make up for a cliched predictable story, emo. I kept thinking it was going to be crappy despite the buzz, but people kept saying, no, it's really good. It's a really adult story. So I watched it and god dang it was exactly the kind of cheesy feeble-minded teen poop I thought it would be. Pretty colors. I thought all the alien noses made them look like Brendan Fraser's. Crappy pizza. I simply cannot comprehend how everyone can shovel Domino's or Pizza Hut into their mouth when there are so many great, or at least decent, options scattered about. I don't mind takeout pizza but it doesn't compare to homemade, and it's easy to make too. Always called really crappy pizza bowling alley pizza. Jersey Shore. I saw the channel for it on Vital a couple nights ago, so I clicked it just to see what all the fuss was about. I watched it for 2 minutes and came to the conclusion that anyone that watches that show must be freaking retarded. A bunch of idiots getting drunk every night and trying to reproduce. Frick, we are doomed. People only watch it to feel better about themselves. I hate hating things. Seriously, I hate talking about movies, books, songs that are beneath us and terrible and looking down my nose at people. People do it all the time, especially on Reddit, and it freaking bugs the crap out of me. I think constantly going on about how original and intelligent you are because you don't like Bieber, Apple, Twilight, Nickelback, whatever is freaking lame and only makes you look like a pretentious self-important douche with no personality of your own. Who the frick cares if someone likes stuff you don't like? Crap. Yes. Commenting in this thread. Irony. Very clever. Blah blah blah. Hey, thanks for that. Red Lobster. I freaking hate Red Lobster and yet people go on and on about the biscuits and popcorn, shrimp and a megordit seguod fapik 89 orsdanak. Frickin' Red Lobster. I like when people try to tell me it's not fast food. X Factor. When it's on, it's front page news in the UK. I haven't watched TV since 2009 yet. No matter what I do, I can't get away from it. That and Big Brother used to ruin my cigarette breaks at work, as even though every time I made it clear I wasn't watching it, nor was ever going to, people would expect me to be able to talk about it. Oreos. They taste like what I guess cardboard tastes like, and the filling has a very greasy, waxy texture. I never tell this to anyone anymore, because it's usually followed by squeals of, how can you not like them? I find them nasty. B. That's why. It's okay. I don't like cake or most candy. People give me the weirdest look when I turn down a piece of cake. They just can't comprehend how anyone couldn't like sweets. Frick that. Gimme a steak. Lost. Can't stand that show. The majority of my friends love it with a passion, and when I say I don't like it, one of them always says, oh, but you haven't seen it. Yes, I have. I have watched the entire first season and a few episodes out of other seasons to give it a try. It's boring and the plot twists are clearly thrown in just to lure the audience into watching more. Lost sucks. Football, soccer, no so much the sport, but the fact that every person who watches it will freaking drone on for hours about how X is better than Y. I'm a huge rugby fan, so are a couple of my friends, and we certainly don't bore each other, everyone else, with the ins and outs of a specific match. Rugby is better than football, American and soccer. It's the perfect mix of smart tactical play and smash mouth athleticism. The Hiver Mind. It gets ridiculously repetitive after a while. Jokes stop being funny after the 900th time they're told. Also, Black Ops. Sorry, gotta have a reason to hate Black Ops. Otherwise you're probably just hating on it because it's successful and everyone wants to be like it. Tosho. He seems like the unfunny guy from fuck.com who comes up with the most cliche response, and then basks in the laughter of unimaginative teeny boppers who wouldn't know comedy if they were rogered by John Cleese. I knew someone already put this, but I hate dubstep. I can't really appreciate electronica music in general, but dubstep sounds like you took a good D&B song and put it in a washing machine and threw it down a flight of stairs. I can't understand how covering up whatever semblance of music it had with a loud obnoxious LFE can warrant a new style of music. I think I'll just start using a wah-wah pedal, play it so loudly that nothing else in the mix can be heard, and call it new music. Bullshit. Pokemon on Reddit. In real life no one I know talks about them, probably because my friends are adults, but on Reddit there seems to be this fascination I can't quite understand. Pokemon. I tried about 6 hours of Pokemon Red to see what you kids on Reddit were talking about. It's a pointless grinfest with zero interesting characters, dialogue or story, and puzzles designed for 7-year-olds. I wasn't in the target demographic when it came out, and I think of it the way the college kids of Reddit think about Justin Bieber music. It's okay to like if you're a child and don't know any better. I don't think there's a single person in the world that plays it for the story, haha. Will freaking Farrell. The man is an intellectual abortion, but for some reason anytime he shoots on a film and calls it comedy, people eat it up. He, along with Rob Schneider and Chris Kattan, are the worst thing to happen to film ever. In the event of my early demise, I've asked my wife that I be cremated, packed into bricks, and thrown through their house windows with a note attached explaining why. You should watch Stranger Than Fiction, not a comedy. If I could, I would personally kill every freaking good for nothing, won't screw to save the species, panda on the planet, with my bare hands. Glee. What a terrible show. I've never even watched part of an episode. Just the concept of it pretty much pisses me off. I hate musicals. GAHH. A show based on them. I'd rather die. Spinach and artichoke dip. B love spinach and artichoke dip. I think it smells as if someone had eaten a dead skunk, pooped that out, and then someone ate that poop and then puked it up into a bread bowl. I'm very against patriotism nationalism. Canadians are very proud to be Canadian, but I have issues with being proud of something I didn't actually do. I was just born here. We also tend to give a crap about other Canadians as if they're family. Canadian tourists killed in explosion in Afghanistan, along with 127 others, as if that Canadian should be more important to me than the 126 other people who died. I'm from Toronto, so I probably have more in common with someone from a big city like Chicago or San Francisco than I do with someone from rural Alberta or Northern Ontario. It's always very hard for me to word all of this correctly in a conversation with a bunch of proud Canadians. They end up just thinking I'm an butthole. Completely on your side. I was born in South Africa, but majority of life has been spent in Canada. Have my Canadian citizenship, but by no means am a patriot. Can't stand the beer commercials preaching patriotism. I am Canadian. Live in Ontario as well. Listening to music. I have somewhat bad tinnitus, ringing, in my left ear, and it is hard for me to understand what people are saying if there is background noise. My family and a good portion of my friends think Glenn Beck is just the greatest thing on the planet. The joys of growing up in East Texas. Quoting the movie Anchorman or Borat in public, or asking me if I've seen a movie, and after I say yes, rehashing an entire scene from said movie. Olive Garden. Their food is awful. It is just a crappy excuse for Italian food that is smothered in butter and cheese and then gives you the shoots. And it all comes from prepared bags that are microwaved and then slopped on a plate for you. This isn't hate with a passion, but I really think the Beatles are overrated and I don't like listening to them. I honestly feel the best songs they've done were covers. Additionally, sometimes people will counter with they defined a genre or something to that effect. Honestly, I don't care. Music still has to be entertaining. And IMHO the Beatles just don't provide that. Also, I hate how Redditors blindly hate people like hedge fund managers. They assume hedge funds are these money machines when in reality most hedge funds lose money. It's simple economics. People agreed about the Beatles and then saw your username. Anime. People get so freaking attached to cartoon characters and dress up as them at conventions. Live in the real world. Smartphones. I used to think it'd be sweet to have one, but I started to realize that I'd only use it to browse the web, and I already do that plenty at work and home. When I see other people texting constantly or registering their location on Foursquare or using any other mindless app, I cringe. I don't see the appeal. And most of the time, I don't want to be in touch with everyone I know. They're so dang expensive per month too. Also, turns out there are far fewer useful apps on smartphones that you'd think. I get downvoted heavily when I mention that I hate Pokemon posts and anything Pokemon related. Even though it's on topic in this thread, I still fully expect a lot of knee-jerk downvotes in here. I hate dogs. They stink. They are annoying. They want attention all the time. They make annoying sounds. They crap everywhere and they think I want to be their friend, but I don't. Just leave me alone. Dogs. Complaining about that sir every single week on Reddit, then shutting down your computer, standing up, and making the conscious decision to stop caring once you've ejaculated your rant online. On Reddit, everyone seems to love Requiem for a Dream, which I think is a genuinely terrible, overwrought film, though I like the director's other work. If you are new to the channel, you can subscribe. I publish new videos every day. Until then, check another video. Bye for now.